Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching. Welcome to a mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys and girls, you know the drill. If you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. Hey, today I wanted to talk to you quickly about two things. Stephen Smith, the 19-year-old who was now, as we know, murdered July 8th of 2015. His case was reclassified from a hit-and-run vehicular accident to a now murder case by the SLED. That's the South Carolina law enforcement. So SLED has reclassified it as of yesterday to a murder case. Now, that's a win for his mother, Sandy Smith, who has been fighting for almost 8 years because she knew that her son wasn't hit by a car. She knew that there was something foul play, something involved. But before I get into this, I want to just say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, the subscribers, the replay viewers, the moderators. You guys are what makes this a great place. And I give thanks and praise to each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all of the folks who leave kind comments and questions in the chat afterwards. Texas Girl, good to see you. Teresa, those of you who leave questions down below, I thank you. On our last video that I did right here in the same location, there's over 400 questions and comments in the comment section. So kudos to you guys. I give you guys 2 thumbs up on the engagement with me and Ed Wallace. We both appreciate the questions. So thank you so much. Trev Time, good to see you. Hello, Sean B. and everybody that's joining. So by a show of hands here in the chat, how many of you have been following the Stephen Smith case? Again, murdered. Now we could say this word. Now we could say the word. He was murdered July 8th of 2015. And the Murdaugh family was all over this thing. His brother, Alec Murdaugh, convict Murdaugh's brother, came onto the scene. They even went as far as the next day after July 8th, I think July 9th of 2015, contacting Stephen Smith's mother, Sandy Smith, offering their services free of charge to the family, sticking their nose and getting involved in a lot of different things and going into the crime scene, over the crime scene tape, getting onto the scene of this murder. The whole thing stinks to high heaven. Ronnie Richter and Eric Bland, the attorneys for Stephen Smith's mom, Sandy Smith, are going to exhume Stephen Smith's body with their own and use their own experts, and they're going to do a forensic exam, an autopsy on Stephen Smith's remains, even though he's been interned for 8 years. And that brings me to tonight's broadcast, tonight's live stream. We're going to have 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have Ed Wallace, crime scene expert, Barbara Butcher, a legal medical death investigator with 27 plus years and thousands of crime scenes processed and autopsies conducted. And we're going to have the director of the body farm at the University of Tennessee, Dr.Murray Marks, is going to join us tonight at 8 p.m. And we are going to talk about Stephen Smith and his second autopsy when he is removed from the ground and taken out of his resting place. How is that process going to go? What are some of the things that we can learn, that the mother and the attorneys and everybody that's working hard on this case, what are some of the possibilities? What are some of the constraints that we have with someone who's been interned into their final resting place for 8 years? What can they gather? And who better than a forensic anthropologist, Dr. Murray Marks, and Barbara Butcher, who is a legal medical death investigator. This is going to be, for me, a learning experience tonight. And Ed Wallace, the return of Ed Wallace, he's had so much so many things going on personally. His wife lost her sister. That's his sister-in-law, Jane, on St. Patrick's Day on Friday the 17th. And Ed Wallace is back here in the United States, but we're going to welcome him with open arms tonight. I can't wait for my brother from another mother to join us back on the live stream. And it's going to be a interactive question and answer period. We're going to take about 15 or 20 minutes to answer your questions. So I'm going to ask you all, send your questions in regard to Stephen Smith's, the process. They're going to exhume his body with a funeral director in a dignified way. The family has raised probably close to $100,000. Last time I checked, it was over $80,000 on the GoFundMe. So that's tonight we're going to talk about what happens during the process of removing an interned human who has been laid to his resting place, and what kind of what kind of information, what kind of data are they going to be able to get from what we would argue to be probably skeletal remains here. So after Alec Murdaugh was being investigated for the murder of his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul, SLED uncovered some information and some investigation, something in their investigation while investigating Murdaugh for the murders, who he's now a convict. Convict Murdaugh is now in jail serving 2 life sentences. But while they were investigating in 2021, it caused them to reopen Stephen Smith's case. And now we don't have knowledge of what the information is, of what they have in 2021, but you could bet your bottom dollar for them to reopen that investigation. There had been some kind of damning evidence that puts perhaps the Murdaugh family somewhere involved in the Stephen Smith case, but we do not know at this time. And even Eric Bland, who is representing Sandy Smith, and Ronnie Richter, they even said publicly, we don't know what they had, but they had to have something substantial for them to open the case back up and take this accident, this case that is deemed an accident, a hit and run case, and open that up. And now fast forward to 2023, just yesterday, they classified it as a murder, as a homicide. SLED also made a statement. The chief of SLED also made a statement, and this is coming straight from Eric Bland and Ronnie Richter, the attorneys for who are part of Bland Richter law firm. They said the SLED chief said, if your purpose of a new autopsy is to prove the fact that Stephen Smith wasn't a victim of a hit and run, you don't need to exhume his body. So basically what I read from that is that they're saying they have concrete evidence that this was not a hit and run. They're telling them that they don't have to exhume the body, but they're going to go ahead and do it anyways, because why should they trust SLED? In my eyes, why should they trust SLED? Everything from the day of this occurrence, from the day of this murder of Stephen Smith, July 8th of 2015, fast forward to 8 years, everything has been, as Bill Cannon says, fugazi. Everything about this investigation has been fugazi. So why should the family at this point all of a sudden just take their word for it? They're going to exhume his body. The process is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. And they are going to perform their own autopsy, and a forensic anthropologist, that's a doctor who studies bones. We're going to have Dr.Murray Marks on with us tonight. He's a forensic anthropologist. We're going to ask the doctor, and I'm asking you guys, my call to action for you guys today, and you guys step up to the plate. And whenever I ask you to do this, go over to DutyRon.com and put in the subject line, questions for forensic anthropologist, questions pertaining to Stephen Smith's, the process. When they exhume his body, what is going to take place? And I will answer I will ask your questions. I personally won't answer them because I'm not an expert in that field, but I will ask your questions to our experts. The director of the Body Farm at the University of Tennessee, Dr. Murray Marks, and our favorite, Barbara Butcher, a legal medical death investigator with so much experience in this field. We'll ask those questions that you send in to us. And thank you for all of your feedback. Texas Girl, thank you for becoming a member. There it is, our first member of the live stream. I've been gifting out memberships like crazy. I'm hoping that the folks who received their free membership, they're enjoying it. This weekend on the members only live, we will have Dave Rader from Equisearch Midwest. I'm going to invite Dave Rader and Twyla Cisco to come on with us to talk about searching for the missing. And that's going to be a members only live stream this weekend. That's coming up. I'm going to try to coordinate with Ed Wallace a Forensic Friday. That should be awesome. And look what time it is, folks. Look what time it is. I looked at my watch and it says 3:28. That is my father. God rest his soul. Thank you, Dad, for always sending me signs. This is my father's favorite number, 328. So I just looked at it. Now it's 329. But Dad, thank you for being here with me. So yeah, a Forensic Friday. We're going to try to wrap up a Forensic Friday with Ed Wallace maybe this coming week. So I had a small piece that I wanted to play for you, but of course it's gone. It's gone, but I'm going to find it. I sent it over to Josh. So I want you to just listen to the audio on this. I'm sorry I got to do it like this, but I'm not going to put the phone up to the screen.
Murdaugh's, his, of course, notorious father.
Let me know if you can hear this audio good.
For the murders of his wife, Maggie, and son, Paul. He's serving 2 life sentences.
South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is now officially investigating the death of a former classmate of Buster.
Hold on. Stand by. All right, here we go. I know the audio was good on that.
Smith was a classmate of Buster Murdaugh's. His, of course, notorious father, Alec, just convicted for the murders of his wife, Maggie, and son, Paul. He's serving 2 life sentences. We followed the case closely. So we have to point out there's no evidence. There's no actual evidence that we know of connecting any Murdaugh family member to Smith's death. Investigators say Alec Murdaugh and his brother came to the scene for unknown reasons, though the point has been brought up that they are lawyers who deal with a lot of auto injury claims, and this was presumed to be a hit and run until now. Buster Murdaugh denies having any involvement in Smith's death, despite so many rumors. Smith's mother says she thinks Stephen was beaten to death.
I agree.
Why and by whom?
That I don't know. That's what I need answers for.
Counselor Bland, is there any working theory?
I think it was a hate crime. I think, Stephen was a very courageous young man to live an openly gay lifestyle in the low country of South Carolina in 2015.
Let's bring in Bernarda Villalona, a seasoned criminal defense
So it's
attorney
interesting because, Eric Bland, who's the attorney that's representing them, and he just had a knee replacement last week. So hope you heal up good, Eric. A lot of questions were presented to Eric Bland, and one of the questions that they asked was, will SLED pay for the exhuming process, the process of removing Stephen Smith's body from his resting place? A couple of super chats came in, and I think one of them was from Vet Girl. Let me just try to find it. Hold on a second. Where did it go? All right, here it is. Prayers to the family. They had to wait so long for the truth. May God bring this family justice. Thank you, SLED. Thank you. Listen, thank you for that super chat, Vet Girl, and always for all of your for your support and for following these cases. But my thing is that they have the money. They raised close to $100,000 on a GoFundMe. Stephen Smith's mom, Sandy, and God bless her. She's such a strong woman. I watch her talk and give interviews and just think about the position that she's in. She's on the national stage and she's speaking out loud and clear for her son. She's been an advocate for him all along, and really up until this point, nobody was listening to her. But now that convict Murdaugh is behind bars, the family is not as powerful as they used to be because now they're dismantled. His son, Paul, was murdered by him. He's convicted. His wife was murdered. And everybody that he was in contact with, business-wise, he was ripping them off. He was stealing money from his own law firm, from clients, from people who were victims. So this guy is a real piece of garbage. And at the end of the day, Sandy Smith wants answers. And that's all she keeps saying is, I want answers. I want to know what happened to my son. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. So kudos to her for being a strong mom and sticking with this. And, you know, Eric Bland said, we're going to pay for this with our own money that was, you know, drummed up through the GoFundMe. We're going to have our independent experts examine the body, and we're going to get the answers that we so seek for his mother, you know. And as far as SLED and the chief of SLED saying, if your purpose for a new autopsy is to prove the fact that Stephen Smith wasn't a victim of a hit and run, you don't need to remove his body, because what he's saying in that sentence is that we have the evidence to prove that it wasn't a hit and run. And they uncovered that evidence while they were investigating convict Murdaugh. And that's what makes this a really interesting point. And this statement alone from SLED is giving us a preview. Without saying it, they're giving us a preview that they have enough evidence to prove that this was a murder. But what evidence do they have? That's the big question mark. You know, in 2021, the evidence that was uncovered while they were investigating Murdaugh, convict Murdaugh, it could be anything. Stephen Smith, Gloria Satterfield, Mallory Beach, Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. These are the victims of this family. These are the people that we know of at this time, that met their makers, that met their demise through dealings with the Murdaugh family. Let me say those names again: Mallory Beach, Gloria Satterfield, Stephen Smith, and Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. It's really just an unfortunate thing. But tonight, again, you're going to be transformed. We're going to be transferred over. I was looking for the right word, but I couldn't find it. We're going to take a ride when this video is over to tonight's video, and we're going to be in the lobby. So I can ask you all, if you can right now, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to this community, because we bring the experts to you and break down these cases, and we cover all aspects of it. So this way it helps you to understand a little bit better. So let me look into the chat and say hello to everybody. Brenda, good to see you. Gayla Dennison is here. Schmitty, always great to see you. Princess Mitch, thank you so much. Jeff, thank you for the super sticker. Always a pleasure to have you on the live stream. Thank you to everyone who's coming in. And Allie D, if you're not here, happy birthday. She's celebrating her 21st birthday today. So Allie D, happy 21st birthday. Miss Donna Marie, always a pleasure to have you on the live stream. 8 p.m. Eastern. Let me know where you're watching, city, state, or country. And if you're new, say hello to me by saying, hi, I'm new. Good to see you, Beamer 650. Hi, Vicky. Diane, always great to see you. Thank you for joining. Lisa, hi, little Patty. Oh, what a great lineup we have here. Jeffrey Crowley is here. Joey Brooklyn, Sean B. Holy sweet mother of Jesus. Good to see you, Tom, from Rhode Island. Thank you, Thomas. Always a pleasure to see you here. Thank you for joining. Rhino Girl, we know where you are. Good old Dubai. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Legal-minded friend, Karen Cole, my good friend over in the UK. Terry, good to see you from North Carolina. Thank you. Another North Carolina, back to back. Sean B, you're in Georgia. Gail Salatori, good to see you, my good old Irish friend. Lydia Love, thank you. Welcome. Hello from Douglas, Wyoming. Jeff, those are some great pictures you shared with me. Thank you. Hi, I'm new, says Nana Danavana. Thank you for joining. Hi, Debbie from England. Vicky Holt, checking in. Laura from South Carolina. Hi, Sweet Caroline. I love your screen name. Sweet Caroline. Oh. That's about all I can do. So Nicole from Pennsylvania, good to see you. Joe from New York City, good to see you, man. Fellow New Yorker. Vicky from Minnesota. Let's see, Pittsburgh. Carrie Bear, thank you for being here in Pittsburgh. Grumpy Granny from Seattle. Hello, Grumpy Granny. Ottawa, Canada. I love to do these roll calls every once in a while. You know, some people hate this. Mountain Cat, let me know. Welcome in from Tennessee, East Tennessee. That's ground zero for Summer Wells. Let me know if this bothers you. I really want to know, because a lot of people, I think the majority loves this. Hello from Alabama. Barbara from Staten Island. I think the majority of us like this, but I think there are some poo-pooers out there that are just, they want to come on just for the information. Give me my information, and don't talk to your subscribers. If I listened to that, then I'd be the dummy, because you guys are the heartbeat of this place. And I don't listen to somebody that just wants me, just give me. It has to be, this is a relationship of a give and take. We have to give you information, but I have to give thanks and praise to you guys. I have to do it. And for those of you who don't like it, it's a very small bit of you. I hope you still hang around and grin and bear it, you know? Yeah, let me know down in the comment section, because in the chat, let me know if you love it. I sometimes miss it. I can see a lot of people saying, I'm loving it. Pat Cat says, ignore the gimmies. Ignore the gimmies. Yeah. Schmitty says, I'm in St. Louis. We pronounce, wait a minute, hold on, where did it go? We pronounce the first poo of the second poo. Poo. Yeah, DutyRon has great subscribers, very polite. Listen, the community here is unbelievable. Allison Beatty, that's Ed Wallace's fangirl. I'm actually thankful that she changed her screen name, because we didn't mind it, but I think it was like distracting. Ed Wallace's fangirl. Everyone was like, who is that? Is that Ed's wife? Thank you for joining, Gene. Hello. Good to see everybody saying hi. Heather, whatever is here, and good to see you. All right, so let me wrap it up, because I did a lot of this. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we're gonna have a forensic anthropologist. That's a bone doctor. We're gonna have a bone doctor on with us, a forensic anthropologist, Dr. Murray Marks. He's the director of the Body Farm at the University of Tennessee. We're going to talk to him about the autopsy of Stephen Smith, the second autopsy. Don't forget, he has been interned in a cemetery for 8 years. We're going to ask Dr. Murray Marks your questions, and I have a slew of questions that I'm going to ask him in regards to this process. Barbara Butcher, our legal medical death investigator. She is the New York City chief of staff at the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. She's retired. She's going to be on with us. She's going to talk about everything in regards to autopsies and so forth. Barbara is a wealth of information, and she has her book coming out in June. We're going to talk about Barbara's book and everything autopsy related. So I hope to see you guys at 8 o'clock tonight. Much love and respect from my house to yours. I'm so happy for the mom of Stephen Smith, Sandy Smith. Let me know what you think about Sandy Smith. What a strong, powerful mom. You know, this is girl power, women power, mom power 2.0 as well. Sandy Smith is a warrior. In my eyes, she is what every good mother emulates. And I when I see her on the screen on the television, I just want to hug her when I see her, because she's gone through hell and back. You know, her son, openly gay, out there in the good old boys, South Carolina, you know, in the deep South. He didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve to be murdered. And she needs answers, and she deserves those answers. He deserves justice. And whoever is a part of this, whoever is behind his murder, should be brought to justice. And hopefully we get to the bottom of that. So much love and respect from my house to yours. As I always like to end these, thank you for the replay viewers. Thank you for everyone for positively engaging, and all the victims of crime and their families across the globe. We send everybody strength, prayers, and positive vibes. ATS News, always great to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us. You're always here and present for duty. All right, guys, peace and love from Crime Time with DutyRon. Stand by for a message from Kara, Ed Wallace's dog, my dog, Oscar, and my bird, Popeye. I'll see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Be there or be square.